Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ask That Podcast here on YouTube. Woo! 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 Yeah! Woo! Real simple. This is something I never noticed until the last few years I started picking up on this. Now, back in the day, when I first started reading comics, everything was on newsprint. Newsprint. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find a newsprint comic. Give me a couple seconds. I'm going to walk over to where I got some comic stash. I should have a newsprint comic in the stack somewhere. Let's see. Oh, let's see. That is a newsprint. Yeah, that's a newsprint. Alright, so back in the day, I was born in the mid-70s, basically. Put that out. The comics were like this. Newsprint. There weren't no $1.25. This cheap paper. Pretty much what your newspapers were printed on back in the day. It made the colors look different. It did a lot of different stuff. Well, then, sometime in I think it was the 80s, they came up with what they called Baxter paper. This really white paper made the colors pop, changed a lot of stuff, but it costs more. Remember, the first big thing to come out on Baxter paper was DC they had 3 titles they took, and they kind of did a neat little trick with them, and I liked the idea, except for it happened at a time where I just couldn't get to the comic shop ratings. It's kind of fucked me. What they did is they took Teen Titans, New Teen Titans, they took Legion of Superheroes, and they took The Outsiders, and made them into 2 books. When it started for a year there was New Teen Titans became Volume 2. That was the Baxter paper book. That was like $1.25 or $1.50. It was a little bit more expensive. You only got it at comic shops or through subscription. Then you also had new stories coming out every month, and what used to be the old title became Tales of the Teen Titans. Well, after a year was up, Tales of the Teen Titans just started reprinting the stories from that past year of New Teen Titans. So if you couldn't get a comic shop, you could still get the stories. They did that with Outsiders and all that shit. And I think they did it another time after that. Marvel never did, as far as I know. But the Baxter paper looked somewhat like this ain't Baxter. This that slick shit. This, no? I don't have any Baxter around. And I never noticed, because honestly, at the time I went into the comic shop often enough to pick up New Teen Titans every time. So when I would get like a Tales of Teen Titans issue that reprinted one of the Baxter run, I never noticed the paper difference. The color difference. I noticed the paper difference, of course, but I didn't notice the color and the art, what it did to the art. Well, on the Great Cartoonist Kayfabe channel and Comic Jerk, they both pointed out, that can make a huge difference. So I was like, let me see if I got anything in my collection that I can show this to people with. And I figured it out. Okay, I have on the left here, this is probably not a first print, probably a second or so. This is Lightning Strikes, which reprints Stormwatch Volume 1, issues 43 through 47. This is Tom Rainey's drawing it. Jim Lee does an issue, and it's written by Warren Ellis. On the right here, we have Stormwatch, the new Stormwatch Volume 1. This is branded as Walstrom, this is branded DC. It's a lot more recent print. This reprints issues 37 through 47 by Warren Ellis. Right. This one, it's got 10 more issues too, but I can't get to the price. It's on the slip paper. This is on the regular. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a compare and contrast here. See if I can get these lined up good. Okay. All right. So we got on this side, you see Jack Hawksmoor. Does that get repeated in here? First thing, they didn't show the color. They don't show the colors. What the fuck? Oh, that's right, there. I got to go to the. Okay. Can you see the complete difference? Look at that. Colors look duller on here. They're brighter. That black is actually black here. It's kind of a grayish black. And then this. I know the way these are spaced out is going to make it odd. Just look at the red. See how the reds and the blues and everything pops? Just that huge difference. And the weird thing about it to me is that, okay, the first time I read Stormwatch was on this paper. Stormwatch was one of them runs where when it was coming out and doing good, I remember hearing about guys going, man, you got to read Stormwatch? Man, fuck this. Wild Storm bullshit, Wildcats, Wild Core, fuck all that. Because I'll be honest, when the Wildstorm shit first started at Image, I read the first Wildcats miniseries. Didn't bother. Yeah. It wasn't that, it didn't appeal to me that much. Stormwatch, I read the Solicitor, this don't sound good. Gen 13 was the one that actually sounded decent, I just never picked it up. And then I was at a convention, oh God, 2009, I'm thinking. Yeah, 2009, 2010. And this dealer had just overstock trades. And it was like X amount each or 3 for $10. So I was just buying them. And he had all but one of the Stormwatch trades. So I bought this to get one part of it I just didn't have. And I sat down. Matter of fact, I bought those probably on Friday. Saturday I went back and bought some more stuff from him. Sunday I took my cousin's 2 younger boys with me. They were 4 or 5 and like 10-ish at the time. And I told the little one, he didn't have a lot of money. I was like, I'll buy you some stuff. And we went up there and I was going through the trades. I was like, okay, I got 2 I want. You pick you out some. He picked out one because they had 2 Spider-Mans. I'm like, we've got 2 Spider-Mans on the cover. Okay, cool. So I got into the series. It's so good. This run, Volume 2 is good. Then it became the Authority. Now, the weird thing is that I got to find it. There's a trade. It's basically Wildcats versus aliens. But the Xenomorphs come into the Wildstorm universe and fuck shit up. Like, Warren Ellis used that to revamp Stormwatch completely into the Authority. Killed off a pile of the members, and that trade is a bitch to find now because, of course, DC owns the Wildstorm. They did. Well, this was going on, I'm pretty sure they did. They don't own aliens. Dark Horse had it, but now Marvel's got it. So you're not going to see reprints of that trade. Them issues ain't cheap, and that trade is a son of a bitch to find. I'm glad when I found it. And I didn't know at the time, Some things where I just didn't know. And I've got, matter of fact, I'll go get them. I know where a couple more Stormwatch trades are. Give me a second here. Let's see. One more Stormwatch trade instead. And I got some Authority. I've read all the Authority. I just don't have all the trade. That's another one of them. I got that. This is Changer Die, which is what? 48 through 50, Stormwatch Preview, and Stormwatch Volume 2, 1 through 3. Just such a great little series that it gets a little talk still, but Warren Ellis kind of caught some shit. What was it last year? 2020. So you're not hearing about him as much anymore. But really well done stuff. It sucks that a vital part of the story you're not going to be able to find easily. If DC don't have the rights, and Marvel's not going to work with them. So, it's one of those times where bite the bullet and pay the and that trade. And the thing about that Wildstorm Aliens trades, it's only 2-3 issues tops. It's thin. It's one of those trades where I think original cover price is like $6, $7. It's barely thicker than a regular size comic, really. Find the issues, which will probably cost you more in the trade, or you're on the internet. If you look around on the internet, it's a place where you can read comic scans or download them yourself and read them on whatever. You can find the issues. But I just thought that was kind of neat how, it's a Jim Lee issue. Let me do that one real quick. I guess that's it. Okay. This was the Jim Lee all splash page issue. I'm guessing what issue it's going to tell me. Issue 4 is the last one on the trade. Get that out. Just look at the difference. I'll be honest, I like how the colors pop on this slick, glossy paper. But since I read originally with this more subdued tones, that's what I prefer, even though I think this looks better. But just look at the difference between this and this. Yeah. Those are really good. There. The spread of the team. But every issue of Storm, and here's the weird thing about Stormwatch. You hear, nowadays when Stormwatch came out, everybody, oh, Stormwatch, nobody's buying that shit. I mean, it's sold, but every comic sold back then. It was from the mind of Jim Lee. Think about it is that, you hear that, the original, up until whenever Ennis joined, which was 37, so that's what, hell, if they're putting out 12 issues, that's 3 fucking years into the run. So we got good. No, actually, if you go back, I mean, it ain't amazing. And I would have been pissed if I'd been paying cover price back in the day, but I've actually tracked down, like, the first 20 issues in issue form for, pull them out of the cheap bin, $1.50 a book. It's not bad. It's kind of like how nowadays you hear from people, Rob Liefeld's Supreme. Don't read it until Alan Moore takes over. They read Alan Moore, run and quit. No. The original, was it 40, 41 issues? There might be a 0 issue in there, might be 42. The pre-Alan Moore run is not bad. It's not great. And I can see back in the day, paying cover price for it. Oh, fuck that. But, $1 is worth it for that. And post-Alan Moore is not bad. It was, Eric Larson and then Warren Ellis? I think it was Warren Ellis did a run on it. Yeah, it's another one of those where, it's kind of like how, and this is another one I don't get because I've read it. Another Wildstorm thing. You hear people, Wildcats was okay, but it didn't get worth reading until Alan Moore took over. I read that Alan Moore run, and it's not good. There ain't much of the Alan Moore image I think it's worth a shit besides like 1963. His issue of Spawn is not bad. The Violator Ministries was not real good. Violator Bad Rock was not good. Was any of Supreme, his run Supreme at Image, or was that already Maximum Press or Awesome? I think that was still Image at the very beginning of it. I'm out, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment, subscribe, all the other bullshit. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.